What's going on? How's it going? What you doing? What you up to? How is it going again today, everybody? Waddles here. Today we have a topical video. This is similar to my Minecon coverage video or my Totem of Undying video. Definitely recommend those videos if you enjoy this one at any point. Totally slide on over to one of those videos. Check those out too. But yeah, we're gonna kind of talk about an idea today, what I kind of think, and as always, I love to hear what you think about what I'm saying. Do you disagree with something? Do you totally agree? Did I maybe miss a point? Tell me down in the comments below. Let me know what you're feeling. Leave a like on this video, subscribe, and let's just dive right into this topic today. Sit back, drink some coffee, some tea, something, and enjoy. Now I want to throw a small disclaimer in here before we start talking about the whole video. I'm going to talk about some changes and what I think is going to happen, so obviously spoilers, and these are all just my opinions. I'm not trying to bash the game or complain and say the game's dead because of something changing. I don't think that's true at all. That's not the case. Just trying to talk about something that I'm maybe a little concerned about here. November 18th, 2017. Minecon Earth happens, and you know, it's interesting. It's a very interesting thing. It was live streamed, the whole thing, again, video covering that. Check it out on the end slide. But they announced the update Aquatic. I know, really rough, weird name. Couldn't there have been a better name? But the update contains coral, ambient fish, water biomes, water physics changes, and of course, dolphins. There's dolphins added in this update, which is really cool, but I'm sorry, the dolphins have to sit on the back burner for today. We're not talking about that. So they obviously announced more things than I just said, but the thing we care about today is water physics. I'm gonna explain what water physics is to you in case you don't know, and why you really need to care about water physics changing and kind of be in the know, especially if you play this game. If you play Minecraft, which I think you do, I think you should know about what's going on here, what's gonna change. It's gonna be really big. Water physics. What does water physics mean? You've probably heard the term thrown around, maybe by YouTubers. If you're on the Reddit, if you're anywhere in the community, water physics, well, that's basically a fancy term for how water works. So, meaning water flows 8 blocks, it doesn't flow right next to a fence, panes create an awkward gap in the water. If you place a torch, you get an air pocket for a minute, that kind of stuff. That is water physics, how water works. Pretty simple. Right now, as you know, water flows 8 blocks, is blocked by a sign. So water physics equals water mechanics equals how water works in this game. So right now, as you know, water flows, 8 blocks, signs and ladders stop water, torches, like I said, create the air bubble. That's all old news. It's been this way for pretty much ever. That's how things work, and this is about to potentially change. It's about to all shake up, or a lot of it is allegedly about to shake up in 1.14. Pause the video at this moment and leave an angry comment about how water will still flow 8 blocks. Okay, I wasn't saying that water is going to flow differently, in terms of how far, but in Minecon, in their teaser of what's coming, water flows through fences now. Water isn't just stopped weirdly, probably by panes or anything. That is what Jens was implying and talking about. They are aiming to make it easier to build underwater. The developers realized that building underwater is really awkward. You have to use whole blocks, and if you want to detail with a fence or maybe a ladder or, I don't know, a button, if you want to detail the build underwater, it's not going to look very detailed at all. You have all these weird air bubbles. This change is likely also being implemented so the structures under the water will work better. If we have a sunken ship like was talked about, and you can't use any fences or anything like that, just blocks, I mean, it's totally doable. Look at the other structures, but I mean, it gives you a lot more room to add some detail. Now, the big thing that is changing, or allegedly going to change here, speaking pretty much like hypothetically or allegedly or off of like little bits that we know, but what is going to change is how water flows. So
water's not stopped by a fence. Big deal. Yeah, that's not a big deal.
Well, you're wrong. I'm sorry, that is a big deal, because if water's not stopped by a fence, why would water be stopped by, say, a ladder or a sign? Like, that wouldn't really make any sense, would it? Because a fence is a little bit more than a sign, meaning it takes up more space. So why would a sign block water, but a fence doesn't block water anymore? Everything is probably going to change. Water won't be stopped by these things that take up a little bit of a block, even as much of a block like a fence. It won't work like that. So you're saying, yeah, we get it, water is gonna flow past a fence, big deal. Well, that's exactly it. Big deal there. If water isn't stopped by blocks like fences, or probably like trapdoors or that kind of stuff, and it just kind of flows everywhere now, well, stuff's gonna break. A lot of things are going to break. For example, AFK fish farms, where the water's held in by a slab. Well, water flows over a slab now in the future, again hypothetically, so that's not going to work. Long item transport via water using signs, that will probably not work either, because signs again, so mobs moving like 20 or 30 blocks via water for some complicated grinder. Nope. Lots of decorative stuff will probably break, like fountains using slabs as a base. This is a design that I love to do. I just love how it looks. That's not going to work. Maybe even a barrel where you put the new wonderful 1.13 trapdoors around the water and make a barrel sitting on the ground. Probably wouldn't work. This might be reaching it a little bit, but would an extended piston stop water? Because the extended like arm, if you will, of the piston is no bigger than a fence, right? And really important to me, simple water elevators. Goodbye mob elevators that raise the mob so I can punch it and kill it. That's not gonna be a thing like that. Possibly. Now, this is not good at all of that stuff breaking. Doesn't sound absolutely wonderful, but like I said earlier, the game changes sometimes, which is totally all good. Like, there was the big redstone change back in the day. Everyone said that's gonna kill the game. I'm not saying the game's gonna be killed. I'm saying a lot of stuff is gonna break and change, and you should really care about that, because that's a big deal. And you know, seeing as the game is so much more established now, so many people use water very extensively for a lot of different designs, of course including myself, I think Mojang should implement a workaround here. If they're gonna, you know, implement water physics for whatever reason, that's all good, but there should be a workaround, in my honest opinion, because a lot of stuff breaks. The community as a whole definitely needs a block that can hold water still, that things could pass through. So basically, a new sign, a new fence block, something like that, to substitute in, and ideally this new item wouldn't be really expensive to make, hopefully. So a few like random rough ideas that I have. I don't like to say there needs to be a change and then give no ideas. These ideas aren't absolutely the best. This is where you come in. Throw a cool, crazy idea down in the comments below if you have one, but some ideas that I came up with here. We could have like 2 sticks in cobblestone in a crafting table. Kind of like, you know, a stick is in the middle of the cobblestone and it creates like an end rod looking thing, but it's like a pole. I don't know how it really works, but it blocks water and mobs can go through. Something like that. Pretty cheap to make because signs are really cheap right now. Ladders are really cheap, you know. So I don't know if it would really make sense to make this water holding block cost 7 emeralds and 2 diamonds. That would be kind of unbalanced in my opinion. Trying to keep it balanced here, but some kind of pole, again, doesn't really make sense with the new water physics, but it's something, right? And another one, again, not really entirely making a bunch of sense here, but maybe we have like some sort of cobblestone configuration in the crafting table with like a water bucket in the middle. Now you make this and the bucket goes back in your inventory empty or whatever, but basically it creates some kind of water barrier block. It's holding the water, but maybe the whole center of the block is clear, so a mob could move through it. And you can place these different ways, like facing like a log or something. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Just something to hold the water. I was talking with my bud and he said, oh, hey, what if there was a net, which would be a totally cool idea too, but not sure. What are you thinking about this? Do you think something needs to be like implemented to counteract the whole water changing physics stuff, or do you think it's all good? Obviously, at this point in the video, you know that I do personally think that something should be implemented, you know, to fix this whole water physics ordeal, because mob elevators are going to break. That's the big thing that I care about, but a lot of decorative things will just completely change too. And, you know, a shakeup is good, but is a shakeup like this big always good this far along in the game's existence? I'm personally not too sure, but I know my ideas to fix it aren't the best. We definitely would need something better than that, and that is exactly why there is developers of a game who brainstorm up wonderful, fabulous ideas like dolphins. So hopefully they'll come up with something, but I do really believe there needs to be a replacement for something that can hold water. And that brings us up to speed with water physics and their potential change. I hope this cleared up some questions for you if you were wondering what water physics is, and I hope the video entertained you, made you think a little bit maybe about the game or whatever, its future. Let me know what you're thinking about the update, Aquatic update, and thank you so much for watching. Kind of a quick ending here, but it's the best ending I could write. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button as well, smash that button too, yeah, and smash the bell icon, and go have a good day. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.